See Weatherland. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, the high summer heat is on, rain chances down, and if you like today, you're going to like the forecast for the rest of the week. This weekend, a notch hotter, more humid with higher heat indices, but maybe a late afternoon or early evening storm on Sunday. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. First off, big picture as we look at the water vapor imagery. This tells the story. Big ridge of high pressure over Mexico, also exerting force all the way into Texas, really bringing in the drier air across the region, shutting down and knocking away any of that tropical moisture that tried to slip into our area in the wake of the remnants of Alberto. But notice Florida from the Keys all the way up through the East Coast still in that tropical feed, so more wet weather there. Another upper level system coming out of the high plains, igniting severe weather this afternoon. We'll take a close look at that. But first off, Alberto, the remnants thereof moving at a pretty good clip, so the rainfall rates haven't been too devastating. But big soaking rains, the threat of flooding now moving into portions of west central Tennessee this afternoon, just to the west of Nashville. Then locally, our weather pretty quiet in the wake. We did see a tail of that tropical moisture igniting storms out in the Gulf earlier today, but that is pushed off to the east as well. There's that severe weather we were talking about from the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle. Severe thunderstorm warnings, maybe a couple of tornado spin-ups this afternoon, but rough and tumble weather for the high plains. And locally, it's been pretty quiet. We did see a few isolated storms develop. We actually have a nice looking one on the radar lake this afternoon, right over Lake Charles, the downtown area. Nice little thunderstorm here. Enjoy the downpour, some cloud to ground lightning as well, a little gusty wind, and this seems to be drifting a little bit to the east, but some locally heavy downpours right around I-10, 210 split right along the loop here on the east central side of the Lake Charles area. Farther to the west we go, or east we go rather, and we see our sea breeze front marked by a nice line of cumulus clouds, maybe a few sprinkles. That moved through Jeff Davis and Acadia Parish, got us from the mid-90s to the lower 90s. Same thing happened in Lafayette. When that sea breeze passed, we were in the mid-90s, but dew points in the upper 60s. Now our dew points are in the low to mid-70s, and then off to the east, a few scattered storms, one by the Metairie area, right by the airport, down by Lafitte, a couple of isolated cells around Lake Pontchartrain, and then going into Mississippi as well. So as we look at the big picture outside right now, temperature at 91 degrees, but as mentioned, that dew point up to 73, so that feels like temperature. Heat index back up to near 100 late this afternoon. At least we have that nice southwest breeze. That's that sea breeze that came in, and that's what we expect next couple of days. So that should limit us close to about 93 to 95 for the high next few days. But as we get toward the weekend, maybe more of a westerly wind, so that means hotter temperatures in the mix as we go into the weekend. We're favoring upper 90s. Near term tonight, fair skies tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy in the afternoon. Temperatures low to mid 90s. That heat index near 100. Much the same tomorrow night. We'll hold in the mid 70s and then get back into the low to mid 90s with prospects of any afternoon storms very close to zero, no better than 5%. So tonight, mid to upper 70s. Tomorrow, lower 90s. That heat index right near 100 tomorrow afternoon. High heat indices anytime from about 11 o'clock in the morning till about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and we will be watching these peaks. They will be gradually getting higher as we go into the weekend. So quiet night ahead. That full flower moon out there. Venus nice and bright in the western sky after sunset, and then Jupiter in the eastern sky leading ahead of the moon by a good clip. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny and hot. That heat index near 100. Late afternoon sea breeze once again. We'll go 94 the high. We'll hold it below 95 for a couple of days, but we will not be able to resist that as we get into the weekend. Upper 90s to maybe near 100, a few isolated spots, northwestern sections of Acadiana. Not quite record temperatures, but very close. Records will be threatened or tied perhaps. And look at all next week. It is screaming hot and dry start to June. Maybe a storm late Sunday. We'll talk more about that in 10.
All right, thank you, Rob. Still